All right, so next item is 7.2, consideration of appointing qualified candidates in lieu of a general district election for the Scotts Valley Water Conservation District under Elections Code Section 10515. Registrar of Voters Maria Valadez. Up here on Zoom, you can join us, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So my agenda is pretty straightforward. It's Scotts Valley Water District had 2 vacancies on up for election this November, and no one filed for either of the 2 vacancies. So it comes back to the board to try and make an appointment prior to December 1st to fill these 2 vacancies as if they were elected in lieu of an election. And if that happens, then they would just serve out, one of them would serve out the remainder of the 4-year term and the other would be a 2-year term. I understand that as of right now, we're looking into, or the board is looking into dissolving the district, but as of right now, it's not dissolved. So trying to find 2 people to fill those 2 vacancies would be very beneficial to the district, so that after December, if the district hasn't been dissolved, there'd still be some directors there. So the term for the 1 director expires in December of this year. So that would be the board to try to find somebody to fill these 2 seats. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments from the board? All right, I will open it up for the public. All right. All right. Betsy, if you can unmute.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I'm just curious as to whether any direct communication has been attempted with the landowner / voters in the district. I'm very familiar with the district formation and its purpose. I will be very interested to see what LAFCO does with its study of the purpose of the district, but I know that a lot of people don't really understand that they're in the district, and I don't know that any attempt has been made to directly communicate with them the purpose of the district and their potential role in that if they care to participate.
All right.
Is that question for me or for the?
It's for the board.
Okay, thank you.
The board's being asked to do this task. I'm asking the board if it has attempted to do the task, to engage the voter landowners.
I'm not sure if that has taken place.
I was going to make a comment.
Go ahead, yes.
When public comment, I guess, is closed, or
Okay.
or if you wanted to address it now.
I'll close public comment as of now. And okay, Maria, please go ahead and elaborate.
I just want to clarify that this is not a landowner district. It's an elected registered voter district. And we do a publication and a media release advertising for the 2 vacancies, as well as notifying the current directors who are supposed to post it somewhere within the district boundaries.
Okay. All right, Vice Chair.
Yeah, during the work that I had been doing regarding this district, I have talked to various individuals that are in that footprint of the Water Conservation District, as well as several times addressed it and provided an overview of what was going on with it at the Scotts Valley Community Advisory Council out there that's in that same area. It's a larger area, but it does encompass the area where the footprint of the Water Conservation District is. So I think the word's been out there. I've discussed it. I've talked to people individually and several times through that town hall meeting. And certainly, with the process that we're going through, the public notice part, everyone in there is going to be getting a letter
Okay.
or a notice.
All right. Supervisor Sabatier?
Yeah, just a quick question. With all of the recommended actions that are in here, obviously it's not actions for today, except for maybe just A by itself. But just a quick question, directing staff, are we just defaulting to the CAO's office? Who are we directing to find qualified candidates? I'm just curious about that.
Well, I would think that it would be having the CAO staff do an outreach or a notice similar to what we do for any other
Advisory
board,
or something?
advisory board, or for example, when we had to consider appointment of fire district members on that special district, I think we just put out a notice similar to those advisory boards saying that we're seeking applicants. If anyone's interested, they can apply. So that's the way I would envision it.
So I have a maybe confusing request. I believe last time we talked about this, when we talked about the LAFCO process, there was still $25,000 in the bank. Is that $25,000 available to pay for the soliciting of qualified candidates rather than the county paying for that, and maybe even county staff time being paid for? Just a question.
I wouldn't
Or
be
not
able to
the
answer
district.
that question right now. I think it's a legal question regarding how that money can be spent. I know right now what it can legally be spent on and has been spent on is costs associated with elections, which there's going to be a bill right now, a small bill to that account from the registrar's office's work that they've done up to this point regarding that election that was supposed to happen. I think it's questionable whether or not that money could be used for other things. Maybe it can, but I couldn't answer that. I think that's a legal question that I don't know that we can answer today. I think there's got to be more research on it. I know that there's language within the laws regarding if a district does get dissolved, that the money is supposed to be spent on a project beneficial to the area where that district existed. So I think, that's something we have been looking into as far as how the money can be spent. And I know that ultimately, if the district does get resolved, this board is going to be the successor agency to wrap up. And at that time, I think it's going to be in this board's decision authority on how that money is distributed. So I think we could have answers down the road. I just don't know that we can now.
Yeah, I'd like to see if we can look into that, see if what's possible, and then if we can't, we can't.
So, with that being said, do we need to continue this and look into that, or do we make a decision today and?
Well, I think we can handle A section, which is direction to staff to put out a recruitment notice for any
Okay.
interested candidates, and the other items would be dependent on, we may not get a candidate. We just have to see at that point, so that's where I'm at.
All right.
I would say to also give direction to staff to keep track of time and cost in case we can recoup.
And I think that was also included,
Okay.
I'm fine with that, but I think it was stated in the last, not related to a similar item, so I'm fine with that.
All right. So with A, Lloyd, do you have any? Go ahead.
Well, yeah, as Vice Chair Rasmussen mentioned, thank you, Mr. Chair. Your board does have sub-item A for consideration, which is the direction of staff to find qualified candidates to be appointed to the positions, and that can be done just by consensus. Also for your board's considerations are sub-items B, C, and D. C being further direction to staff to draft a resolution, and then B and D are scheduling items that can also be done via direction of staff if there is already a date in mind. That's also before your board, but your board may consider just segmenting it out just by doing A alone. I know that's been mentioned by Vice Chair Rasmussen, and then possibly for another item to come back to your board, depending on what the results of the direction of staff under A are like, and then on top, and then in addition to that, you also have your board's direction of staff to track time as raised by Supervisor Owen.
All right.
So maybe it could be, should qualified candidates be found, the direction could include to schedule a date at that point to, I mean, ahead of time. If we find candidates, we could schedule a date to interview or to consider those candidates for appointment with any required resolution.
And as far as the scheduling of the date, your board may utilize that via direction to come back to your board for some proposals as to the date, or your board may delegate that as part of the direction of staff to set a date. And that's under item B and D, where it asks for scheduling of dates. Your board may delegate that to staff as part of the direction, so that staff can just determine the date of, under B, to choose qualified candidates to come back to your board, and under D, to schedule the date to pass the resolution. So that's one option. Or your board can just set those dates now as part of the direction of staff.
Susan?
Thank you, Chair. I recommend that you delegate it to staff to set a date for future consideration.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Looks like we have a consensus. Supervisor Sabatier?
I just have curiosity. What happens if we don't find qualified candidates? What's our next step? We just allow that district to have less than enough directors? Like, is there any action that we take at that point? It's just curiosity, but just kind of expectations are.
Lloyd?
I'm looking at Registrar of Voters, Valadez, who may have some information on that.
Maria?
So usually when a district falls under a quorum, then it would still fall back onto the Board of Supervisors, in this case, to meet that quorum, at least appoint one person. There's 3 seats for that district, and currently there's 2 directors, so the board would still at some point have to appoint somebody to meet that quorum.
Okay.
If it doesn't happen now.
Thank you.
All right. Lloyd, anything else?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So I believe there's consensus under sub-items A, B, and D. And just to further clarify, C is also asking for direction of staff to draft a resolution. It's interrelated to the other items, but with that, and just if, also by consensus, if your board is willing to provide that direction of staff as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Susan, anything else? So it looks like we have a consensus for direction to staff for A through D. Do we need anything else, or do we have that consensus and we can move forward, Lloyd?
Yes, and just to add, that other direction to staff to track their time as well.
Okay, excellent. So we have that. Anything else from the board? Did I open it to the public?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I did, okay, that's right. All right, with that, we can close this item with the direction to staff. 7.2 is now closed.